We are back at it with another episode of Nick versus Everyone. And with me today, one of my regulars, my brother. He's back, ready to get at it, go one-on-one with the great one. He's a
Yeah,
brave soul today because he knows that greatness is in front of him.
I've been in the deep waters.
What I say in a song, I said, take you to the elements, see if you can swim. True?
Yeah, right. I was born a swimmer, boy. I've been swimming.
Yes, sir. My man, Willie, Big Wills,
What's
Kev.
good, my brother?
Every single time I call you, what up, Kev?
What up, Kev? Shout out Ronnie Pearson.
Yeah. What's good, dude?
Man, bro, just got back into Nashville. I took a trip with the NAPD fam. We went out to California for a Indian Wells tennis tournament. So yeah, we were blessed to be able to give some product to some of the players and just had a great time out there, bro. That was my first tennis match ever going to. So, I grew up. I played tennis in high school. I got a couple little division regional titles on me. You know what I'm saying? Nothing crazy. Went to states a couple years. I don't know. Just a basketball player.
Let's just be clear. It was tennis season. The day before, you're like, all right, I might as well just like go get a racket or something.
Oh yeah, I was just a hooper out there playing tennis for sure.
Just walked on and just like, all right, dude, I guess I'll give this a try.
Yep, 100%. Not a lot of skill, but a lot of do it.
Yeah. Just natural talent. So you came out to California to get some of that California love, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Women and weather.
Yeah.
What Kendrick say? For real. It was all business out there. It was amazing, bro. Like, I've always wanted to go to a tennis tournament really bad. Just seeing it, I just love, just the same way as you, I just love seeing greatness. So just to watch, like I got to see Taylor Fritz play right in front of me, who's like a top 5 in the world and the number 1 ranked American. I believe he's the only person besides Federer to beat Nadal twice in a season, which is
that's sweet.
Ridiculous.
How big are these people? Because like on TV they look small, but I feel like they're just like long, lengthy.
Well, that's what's weird about tennis is like it kind of the gap is kind of big. Like you get like a guy like Tiafo who is like shorter and more stout, but just a brick house. And then you get a guy like Fritz who's like 6'5", 220 and long and lanky and then obviously your build kind of determines your play style to an extent. So, but yeah, just to we actually they did a charity event on one of the days we were there where it was like co-ed doubles, and it was like I watched like the world number 1 women's player, but yeah, they kind of paired them like that, and they were playing against each other, and they raised money for charity. It was awesome, but just to see it in person, it's so fast. Like it was a treat, bro. I was really living it up out there with the gang. It was really good vibes, good energy. So back in Nashville now.
Camera slows everything down, like just boxing. And like when you see someone on film, like Floyd, like hitting the heavy bag or whatever, or just like pads or something, just know that it's like 10 times faster in person.
Yeah, because I'm like sitting there, you know me, I'm like, oh man, I might be able to return one of these serves, I don't know. and then you get there and you're like, no shot.
Yeah, because they got the curve on it. Like I remember playing tennis a little bit when we were younger, just having fun, and we would sometimes like invite a girls tennis player just to like hit around with, and they'd serve it, and I would not be able to even like return like a high school tennis player's like serve. I was sucked so bad and can't even imagine like a professional that's just so locked in, and it's just like the muscle memory is just all fine-tuned perfectly. to make this ball go as fast as it possibly can with the curve. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny watching me play tennis because, like I said, I had no like true skill, a little bit, but like I hardly ever played, so I walked on, and then I realized real quick that my best way to win was just to get the ball back, just get it back. It doesn't matter as long as it goes over the net and it's in. That's how I'm gonna have my best chance to win. So I would just hit it and then just try to get it deep, and then just run and play the net and just wingspan. That's all I had. Wingspan and
mm,
hops. That's it.
which is how you kind of play basketball too, defensive. Like, oh yeah,
Oh
play
yeah.
defense always.
Yep.
Yeah.
Play defense.
And then another part I'm sure was your game with every sport that you play is just trying to get in the other person's head, so they just make their own like so they make their own like mental mistakes, like unforced errors all the time, and you're just playing defense all the time, just wanting him to hit it again and again and again and again.
So that's so true. The first 2 years of high school, freshman and junior year, uh, golf season was the last season, and then junior year they switched it to tennis was the last season. So I was playing golf, and then they switched it. So then golf and baseball were at the same time. So then I played baseball. That was my sport. So I was like, all right, well I can't do golf now, and um, ended up playing tennis, and then all of a sudden, get a little Holly shout out here to L Hop Lance Hopkin. He walked down there with me, and we ended up being doubles partners, and it was literally a basketball game. Like we were like we would win a point, and we'd be like jumping up, like hitting chests and like dapping and like just chirping people, like, oh, he don't want the smoke. Oh, no forehand, just clowning.
And most of the people that played tennis that I remember and like even just were more like that was their sport. Like they were a little bit
Oh yeah,
nerdier. They weren't necessarily athletic enough to like play football or physical enough to play football or basketball. So that when someone from those sports that are like true alpha males type of deal come into that, it's like a shock, I'm sure, and they wouldn't be able to handle it.
yeah, and they're more like a reserved. It's more of like a quote unquote gentleman's game, and Um, I think the further time goes on, like the sports like golf and tennis, which are quote unquote gentlemen's games, they're growing more because they're getting further away from that. Like you're
Mm.
seeing like a Nick Kyrgios and people like that who are just talking that talk, and
Oh, when you get up to the professional level, yeah, that's what it is. But when you're in like the high
yeah,
school level, there's like obviously the elites of the elites. It's like that. But from where we came from, the I guess it was a lower, talent level. I guess. Yeah, it definitely. It's like you didn't see a lot of swimmers play football. I didn't see a lot of swimmers play basketball.
right,
Oh, I guess
right.
swimming was in basketball season, but like, you know what I mean? It was just like a different demographic of person that would,
100%. Same with wrestler. Like I don't think I've ever
yeah,
met a wrestler who's like really nice at basketball.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that's why I wrestled
Or
for like
tennis.
eight.
Was there ever a
Mm.
wrestler? I mean, I guess you wrestled for a long time, but there was never really a wrestler that played like tennis or anything
I
like that
remember
either.
I remember in so yeah, I wrestled for 8 years, and I remember I forgot if it was seventh. I think it might have been seventh grade. I went to tryout, or it wasn't tryouts. It was like first practices or whatever. I was already kind of on the team. I had been wrestling. I was a decent wrestler, and um, I remember we were taping the mats together. So the coach at the time, I'm not going to say his name because about to fry him, but he's pulling the tape, and I'm walking on the tape like to press it down, right?
Hmm.
And this is so crazy. Um, I'm walking on the tape, foot, putting it down, and then I kind of get like a little too close to where he's at, and he just like freaks out. He's like,
Hmm.
"What? Like what?" Like freaking out, and I literally go, "You know me." I go, "Hey, chill out." And he goes, "What was that?" And I go, "Chill out, dude. We're taping the mats. Like, chill." And he's like, he gets all heated. And during this time was when basketball tryouts were going on.
Hmm.
And like I never really like hooped like that. So this had to be like sixth grade, I would say. And either sixth or seventh. And I never hooped like that, but obviously I always loved basketball. And then I look over and it's basketball tryouts, and I was just like, you know what? I don't like this anymore. To be honest with you, wrestling kind of sucks. No offense. Looking back, I'm like, I love that I wrestled because it gives me like a sense of comfort knowing that like I'm remotely comfortable in combat. You know, like I
Yeah.
have like a crutch at least to lean on. I'm not
Uh-huh.
out here defenseless, but so I'm looking over and I'm like, well, damn. And then I'm not joking. I walked over. I stopped wrestling that day and I played the first day of basketball tryout in wrestling shoes.
Yeah.
No support, flat, the flattest of flat shoes that possibly are made. And
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Everybody
that
was
was
like, the coach, whoever that was looking at you and it's like, what is this kid doing?
and then all of a sudden I'm a bucket.
Uh-huh.
So yeah. Just like that.
Yeah, that's a true Michael Jordan story, origin story for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but that's true Kevin Wilson fashion though. Like once you make your mind up, you'll just be like, you know what?
Yeah, it's over with this. I'm like, this guy's gonna sit here and get mad about taping the mats. I'm like, I'm out of here, dude. Also, I'm 6'3". I'm not like I wasn't 6'3" then, but I was still like the one of the tallest kids. So I'm
Long
like,
and lanky, yeah.
I don't want to wrestle like because the way it works, obviously, for people that don't know, is like there's weight classes. So I would always just be wrestling like a short kid that's shaped like a barrel. Like literally, he's like a
A
Donkey
gnome,
Kong
a garden
prop.
gnome.
Yeah, it's crazy. And yeah, I had some good times wrestling though. Definitely happy I did it though. You know, it's kind of like I'm sure you're happy that you got into boxing. It just gives you like a little bit of a confidence boost when you're out and about. You know, just knowing that you have something to rely on to defend yourself.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I feel like a lot of people have this false sense of, oh yeah, like I'm a tough guy. Like I would beat someone up. And you find out really quickly that the people that actually can beat you up in the street, like in the streets, once they're at this certain level or whatever, they're pretty chill. They're like, I don't
Right.
need to, like, but
Yeah.
the people that are like the loudest and stuff like that are the people that have a little bit of fake confidence because
I will say one thing about boxers is that like let's just take you for example. Like I'll double leg you and just strangle you, right? You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, it's so funny.
But every fight starts on the feet, so
Right.
duck your head. You got one coming straight up.
Hey, I've always
Ben
said this.
Askren None Night.
Hey, I've always said this. If you ever get in a fight with somebody and they lay down, excuse me, getting over a sinus thing. If you ever get in a fight with somebody and they lay down on their back, run the other way.
Yeah.
Run the other way. Don't walk. Because your arm's about to get twisted off.
Yeah. Oh hell nah.
Where they do that at?
Yeah, it's always so funny to me when you like see like street fighting videos and like the people clearly even like these like professional athletes, these YouTubers like getting into these boxing matches and stuff is like they're clearly not fighters and they don't know how to throw a punch. They don't know how to fight at all. They don't know balance. They don't know, they're looping punches and things like that. And yeah, what made them think that it was smart to get into like a fight in front of all these people and you really don't have any skills like whatsoever, really? You're just a tough guy or you're just athletic or you're just dumb. You know
I
what I mean?
can't. Yeah, I can't remember if it was Floyd Mayweather Sr. or if it was Roger Mayweather, but he said it, and we've been saying it for 15 years. Most people don't know shit about boxing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just what it is.
Yeah, it's much more. It seems like such a physical sport because it's just hitting somebody, but it's the exact opposite. Mike Tyson
Right.
said it best, like tough guys get hurt in boxing. Like being
Right.
tough gets you hurt.
Yeah.
And even though he was the most physical, powerful, one of the best ever, like he even says it's 100% a mental game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I've seen in
Yeah.
the amateurs, like like uh tough guys like, oh, I'm gonna get into this boxing thing and like try to like charge after people and just get freaking caught with your hands down walking forward and the guy's just chilling. Like it's like they'd even break a sweat. It's like
I
you can
know.
really get hurt. So like when you know, there's so many people that think, going back to the point, there's so many people that think that, oh yeah, if I got in a fight or I'm gonna try to be the alpha male and like bully people and stuff like that, and like they really have a false sense of reality of what they can actually do because it's a whole different thing. And I talked about this in the boxing episode. It's a whole different thing when you got your adrenaline going. That adrenaline is a whole different thing. Everything goes out the window. And if
Yeah,
you
not a
don't
lot of
have the
people know how to harness that.
they don't know how to harness it, how to stay calm during those moments and focused in those moments. And that's when you see when people are just like flailing punches and like doing the craziest things is because they never experienced anything like that. Um, and I think
Yeah.
Joe Rogan says it the best. Like, if you ever get in a street fight, just dance around for like a minute and don't throw a punch and just let them get tired out because people don't understand how tired you get. Hey, try shadow boxing full speed for a minute and tell me how it feels.
Try 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Go right now, if you're listening to this, pause the podcast, stand up in the air, and take 5 full power swings in the air and see how gassed you are. Like, I don't think people know.
No idea. No
Hey,
idea.
speaking of that, though, somebody's about to lose their zero. Uh-oh, we got Tank Davis. We got
Ryan
Garcia.
Garcia. Yeah. Have you watched any of the weigh-ins, the press conferences, or not weigh-ins, press conferences?
Oh, I'm locked in. Come on now. You already know this.
Yeah. Yeah. Who do you, let's say this. First of all, who do you want to win? And then who do you think is going to win?
Mm. I haven't really given like who I think is gonna win like a full like analysis to really say. I've watched Tank Davis get hit a lot, and I don't know, but also I don't think Ryan Garcia has like this crazy stopping power. So um, I would say I think Tank's gonna win, and I want Tank to win just because I just think he's the more exciting fighter. And I think the more he goes on without losing, the more exciting it's just going to keep getting. So I just think it's going to be better for boxing if he wins. So that's kind of why I want him to win.
That's interesting because I think that's the opposite of what I feel.
Yeah.
When I watch Tank Davis, all of his uh, juice in the game is his fighting. Like, I don't think he's a good promoter. He doesn't really have a good personality. He's kind of like a quiet person. And in those press conferences, he's just kind of just like he's not a smooth talker. He's kind of like antisocial in a way. And
Right.
I feel like Ryan Garcia is much better, obviously, on the social media and all that other stuff. Now, I will say that Tank Davis has more power, but I wouldn't say that Ryan Garcia doesn't have power because I feel like he's knocked out
Right.
pretty much everybody recently that I can remember. Uh, and so he's fast, he's long. If it goes to a decision, I think that Ryan Garcia is going to win because Tank does just like wait, 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 parry, 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 wait, wait, and then eventually like lands a bomb and it changes the whole entire fight. So there's been plenty of fights where it's been a really, really close fight or he was losing, and then like that Santa Cruz fight, he was losing that fight. I
Right.
thought he was getting pieced up, he was getting hit a lot coming in, the jab, all that stuff, and then he just ducked and uppercut and it was over. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
it's kind of like Canelo. Like for the longest time, Canelo was losing fights. Like they were really close fights, or he was losing on the scorecards and just broke the dude down at some point, or landed one big punch that changed everything, and he ended up knocking them out. So, um, but Ryan Garcia has been put down on the canvas, and I think that if he gets hit clean, I don't know if he's going to get back up. So it's a little bit different thing.
Oh, there's no if he catches one of those left hooks, he's cooked. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But I think what I do agree with what you just said. I think we actually think the same. I was just talking about. I think his boxing style is more intriguing and interesting. But off the outside of the ring, like on camera, yeah, I mean Garcia, it's not even close. Like Tank
Mm-hmm.
Davis isn't trying to talk to anybody. He doesn't care. Yeah, he's just trying to fight.
Yeah. I feel like it's kind of like a Marvin Hagler versus Sugar Ray Robinson. Sugar Ray's the boxer with the quick hands, right?
Right.
Now they're not at that level, and they don't have the track record of those two people. But and then you got the hard hitting dude, shorter arms and stuff like that. So my hope is that it's a super competitive fight. It's it's a fight there's a lot of blood and guts in it, just to elevate boxing as a whole for both of them. And then whatever the outcome of the fight is for both fighters, it doesn't really matter, because I don't want someone to lose and then they're no longer important, let's say, which I don't think what
Right.
will happen in the first place. But I just hope that it's a good fight, it's an exciting fight, so that it elevates boxing more, and then maybe we see a second one. Like, it would be awesome to have another trilogy uh, in boxing, or
Yeah,
something
that's
like that.
why I feel like that's why UFC is just running the game right now. Is like, hey, when's the last time you saw Errol Spence fight? Like,
Yeah.
or like name. When's the last time you saw Crawford fight?
Or fight someone like worth mentioning.
No, even just fight. Like you, like it's just like it seems like it's so spaced out, and then on top of that is what you're saying. That's like UFC. One is fighting two every time, and that's why I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah,
they're
Crawford
killing it.
fought not too long ago, but I'd even watch it because like it was just a freaking busy fight. It was like we knew the outcome. There was no way he was gonna lose, and I think he ended up knocking him out in like a few rounds. I forget what it was, but yeah, he's a top pound for pound guy, and me as a boxing fan was too busy to go watch him fight some, you know,
If we're
no
being
one.
real, and this is just off the top random, I would say if you walked up to a casual boxing fan and you just said like, name me as many boxers as you can right now, like they're gonna be like Tyson Fury, the Bronze Bomber, like Deontay Wilder. They're gonna be like Canelo, Tank, Garcia, and then the list is like running very dry.
Hmm.
Like I don't think most people. I don't know. It's so weird how boxing changed from back in the day, and it's like it just seems a lot more money motivated now, and it's just all controlled and ran by promoters. So it sucks, but I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot less big mega events, where it seems like every single month the UFC has a mega event, or at least they promote it as a. They're better at promoting it as a mega event. Um, so yeah, they've definitely caught them, I think, and just there's more. Like you said, they don't choose really who they fight. It's the best fights the best, and
Oh, dude, I just thought this is hilarious. Actually, that winning a title in boxing is like becoming a New York Times best-selling author.
yeah.
Everybody's won. Everybody has a belt. I'm
Hmm.
like, who is this guy with a belt?
Yeah.
Like, what? Is this a WWE belt? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, there's so many weight classes. There's three major belts, but then there's like the secondary champion of that belt sometimes, and then there's the yeah, there's
Hey,
just
boxing, real quick. Nah,
the Australian champion, there's like a champion.
dude.
Like, you just think about the Tommy Fury and Jake Paul fights. Like, Tommy Fury walked away with a belt. like a just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a honorary belt or whatever it
Yeah,
was.
right.
So
They
it's
got
like,
that shit from Jacob the jeweler, bro. That ain't no belt.
uh,
They got that at
yeah,
Target.
yeah, it was like the WBC, like they basically WBC just wanted to promote themselves, and
Yeah,
like the
worst
winner is
booty
gonna hold
worst
the
booty
belt. Okay,
class, WBC. Yeah,
yeah,
right.
yeah, whatever it was. So yeah, no, I'm excited though. Well, it's in April, so it's coming up here soon. I want I want Ryan Garcia to win. Um, a few because I
You don't
think
got no chicken on it.
yeah, I mean it's too close for me
Yeah, no
to
way. It's way
yeah.
too close. Yeah, I'm leaving that one alone.
Yeah, and so why I want him to win is because I think he's the reason the fight happened. And he's saying that Tank, you know, is making him like go 4 pounds less than what Tank has fought at before and what he'd be comfortable. He wanted to fight at 140, which
Right.
Tank has done. But he's like, no, you got to go down to 136. And so like, and then there's just been, I feel like Ryan Garcia is just as big as Tank as far as popularity, and Tank was
Maybe
definitely
bigger.
yeah, maybe bigger just because of the youth
He's
and
more
all that
well spoken and yeah.
and so like Tank was definitely like asking for all these things to help his cause pretty much, and Ryan Garcia was like, "Frick it." Like
Right.
I want to fight you, and that gives me a lot of respect to him for
Yeah, I
doing
like
that.
that. No doubt. I
Yeah.
like that
He
too.
was like, "Yeah, we know you got all these advantages and all that stuff, but it doesn't matter. Like, I want to fight you. The fans need it. I need it. Like, and
That's
it
that
just,
UFC. That's the UFC right there. But they don't have a choice.
hmm
That's where UFC is winning is because it's one group or
hmm
one body that controls everything. And in boxing, it's like you have an arm, a leg, a head. Like it's like it's all over the place. And yeah,
hmm
so I don't know. We'll see. But I'm stoked for that one.
yeah, and like I said, it's the end of April. I think there's a
Yep.
couple big fights. I
It's the
think in April too.
22nd.
Yeah, the 22nd. Which I was thinking about going to Vegas that weekend, but not now.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, just staying on combat when I was I mean, you and I like, we love combat sports and I we had just okay, story time, here we go. We were supposed to fly out on like let's just say a Thursday. Flight gets canceled due to crazy weather. I'm like, all right, well, okay, fly out tomorrow. Supposed to leave at 3 a.m. Friday now, 4 a.m. Wake up 3 a.m. Flight canceled again. Sweet. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Woo! So happy.
This was for your tennis trip, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yep,
Just
just
like
now.
this last
Yep.
weekend or whatever. And
hmm
so now we leave Saturday and I'm looking at the Jon Jones Ciryl Gane um thing and I'm like, I'm about to miss this fight. And I'm sick because like Jon Jones didn't fight for what, 3 years?
Yeah.
The goat, like that's like watching Tiger Woods in a red polo. I'm
hmm
like, I'm not gonna get to watch this many times. He's going up for the belt in a whole other weight class. I'm like, oh my gosh. And AJ, uh, my business partner, my one of my best friends, he's loving it too. Like we're excited to watch it. We thought we were going to be chilling in Cali, sipping mimosas and all that, jumping up and down,
Some
and
Mai Tais.
yeah, just having the best time.
Uh-huh.
But this is just so I land immediately. I hit you, Nick. Send me the link. You send me the link. I'm walking through the airport like this, like literally, like Bella and Allie are like walking us and like being like our like guard or like our seeing eye dog. Like we're walking
uh-huh.
like this, watching the fights, and uh, then we go to get the rental car. AJ Stream takes a fat crap and
Yeah.
it goes out and we go to get the rental car. We're standing in line. There's 50 people in line and there's 3 people working. And yeah, it was terrible. So long story longer, we end up watching the fight on my phone in line at the rental car place, sweating, zero air conditioning, sir.
Yeah.
Just and but So we're watching it, and it was so hype. And then I think that was the most anticlimactic fight that I've ever seen because I had so much anticipation. It was so easy, and even like Joe Rogan and Cormier, none of them even knew or could tell that he had like the neck crank and had it in. And it was just when he tapped, me and AJ, I just remember being like, we're like, what just happened? That was a dominant performance.
Yeah, I was texting. I don't know if it was you, but I was texting this other person. He was like, "I got all my money on Jones," and my message to him was, "Yeah, Gane looked shook." And I saw like in the weigh-ins, and I watched a couple of the things. Like
I saw that.
He looked shook to me, and I was like, I was very confident that Jon Jones was going to win, and I think that maybe the moment got to him a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Um, it definitely was not his best performance. We knew he wasn't a very good wrestler, but you would,
Understatement. He's a
yeah,
terrible wrestler. Like I think I forgot who said it. Like a very like a well versed mixed martial artist said like Ciryl Gane's wrestling is like a double white belt. Like he's like ass.
yeah, and he's a very good, you know,
He's a floater.
stand up
He's
fighter.
yeah.
Yeah, stand up fighter and stuff. So like, you would think that for like maybe like a round or something. Like if I was in his position, I'd probably give the first round away. And it sounds kind of weird, but like you gotta just move around and not get taken down for the first fight, because standing up and fighting is a different cardio than wrestling fighting. And when you're fighting a wrestler, their cardio is not built for standing up. So they're going to actually get a lot more tired, and then you have a better chance at it, I think. And so, and that's the same thing I would say about like Khabib and stuff like that too, is like you're going to get, there's people that could wrestle forever but wouldn't be able to stand up and shadow box and kickbox for a long time. Their cardio is much different. So
Yeah.
the fact that he got the first takedown or whatever, like so easy, or he just like threw it. I think what led to it was, it was a punch. He leaned too forward with the punch, left, and Jon Jones slipped it and got underneath, and it was done from there. Like I would have just, he leaned in too much with that, left himself open. And he should have just hung out for a minute, not leaned in. If Joan was coming in forward, like maybe stick the jab a little bit, but I would have just used my footwork, moved around, hopefully get him tired after that first, and maybe the takedowns aren't as good later on after that, and really test that big body that he has now and test that cardio. Um, but yeah, he got him. He was lost from the beginning, and yeah, it was over before anybody knew it. Um,
I don't know if you follow Izzy on YouTube, Israel
mhm.
Adesanya. He always does like he films himself watching the fights
Yeah.
and then drops some like recaps or whatever. And I just watched it right before we hopped on this, and it was only about 2 minutes long.
Hmm.
But he was saying, well, first of all, I noticed too, like Jon Jones was just walking him down, which I didn't think was going to happen, which was crazy. And then he just kept saying, Izzy was saying about Gane, he was like, get away from the cage, get away from the cage, like get away from the
Hmm.
cage. And you can't evade, you can only go left and right, obviously, if you're right on the cage. So,
Hmm.
um, yeah, he didn't do a good job of keeping space. It was, that was,
Which is interesting to me that Adesanya says that, because that's his game. He uses the cage to not get wrestled. Like so,
right.
like when he's facing a wrestler, he stays close to the cage because his footwork is good and stuff like that. But that's what got him in trouble against Pereira. But usually he stays close to the cage so he doesn't get taken down in the middle of the.
But his jujitsu and wrestling is on a whole other level, though. Like I feel like Gon on the ground is like almost, I want to say almost like inept. He has no, it's not there.
Yeah, it's a different thing, and so yeah, he uses where he's really good at Adesanya and defending the takedown to me is he's when he's on the cage, he knows how to use the cage, get positioning, have the cage like help him stay up. You know what I mean? So
Right.
he's
Oh
really
yeah.
good at like wrestling on the cage.
Right.
So he stays there, and you saw that switch against Blahovic once he got taken down in the middle of the not near the
Yeah.
cage. He wasn't able to get back up, and then you saw the next few fights ever since then. It was always I'm on the cage, and if someone tries to take me down, I'm I'm using the cage to stay up or to get up. So yeah, it's interesting that he would say like get off the cage. So I'd be interested to know like the details of why. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was a super quick fight. The other fights were really really good as well. I was in San Francisco, so I was just like passively watching it as I got breaks and stuff like that. I was able to see the Jon Jones like the very end of that fight. I didn't even get to see the full fight. I didn't even see the kick, like the growing kick or whatever, and I didn't even see the beginning or the intros. I just saw like the very very end, the takedown and the submission. I was like, dang, he just that was
Yeah,
easy work.
the only strike that Gon landed in that whole fight was a crotch kick. Like it was just that was probably one of the most piss poor showings I've ever seen from a champion.
Which was interesting to me that I mean that's part of his game is to throw kicks, but like I feel like against wrestlers, like people don't usually throw kicks because they could get caught and then taken down. So yeah, very surprised um, the game plan and it maybe he just didn't execute it and he just the moment got to him.
Hey, shout out to Jon Jones though, because I watched like almost every presser and everything leading up to that. And he seems like he kind of made like a mental switch. He seemed like more calm and at peace, and like he just seemed like he kind of distanced from who he used to be. And I would like that to be true because obviously, you know how he is. He's a wild boy. So, but I don't know. Hopefully, he's in
Yeah.
a better place because for a minute there, it was pretty rough.
He's a scary dude. Like he's like legit like he has that you can see it in his eyes that he just wants to hurt you so bad. You know what I mean? Like when he's just one of those guys that like talk softly, but no, you're a psychopath. You
Have
know
you
what I mean?
seen? Did you see that video that's going around where um, he's like chilling? It looked like he was at like an autograph signing or something, and
I saw that.
there's some big dude, like a massive
Talking.
guy, and he's just yapping.
Weightlifter. Yeah.
Yeah, weightlifter, and he's trying to walk through, and the bodyguards are like holding him, and Jon Jones is literally sitting there like this.
He's like, let him
Don't
through. Let him
don't
through.
hold him back. Let him through. Don't hold him back. Like literally that calm. And I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
this guy has to be the dumbest man on the planet. What are you doing?
I don't know the backstory. Was he just doing that for clout or just like so someone would video him or something like that? Like I'm sure it was just for
Like,
attention. There's no way he
hey,
thought that it would end well. You know what I mean?
hey, I got CTE from Jon Jones. That's
Like
his story at campfires.
yeah, just wants the money and stuff like that. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how long he continues to fight and what will happen. Like with Jon Jones, the next fight is never guaranteed, right? Like you just never know. And so it was good to see him get back in there and just see another fight of his. I
I don't
thought
know
it
if
was
you caught the my bad. I don't know if you caught the end, but right after the fight, he said Stipe run it.
yeah, I know that's the plan is Stipe next, and I think he will fight there. But let's get to the fight before.
Yeah, he said that he
Yeah,
wants to fight at least once more this year, maybe twice. So I would
yeah,
imagine. I think. Wait, that fight would be in like May or June,
June or
maybe,
July. I think
or
they were
June or
saying
July.
June or
Yeah, and then
July. Yeah,
maybe he might fight or like in December or something after that. That would be crazy if he fights 3 times in a year after not fighting for 3 years.
yeah, but he's also a person that needs a challenge. And so, if he fights Stipe and beats Stipe, like who else is there? Like everybody else is just like big dudes that with power. You know what I mean? I don't know if there's anybody
Yeah,
else that really gets him out of the bed and excites him. So like I could see him fighting Stipe and then being like, I got to think about it.
There's a couple up and comer like Aspinall. Is he a heavyweight?
Well, he's just like tore every ligament in his knee.
Oh yeah, that's right. He blew his knee out. Yeah,
So
I mean,
he
I don't know if he would either just like retire or maybe cut all that. I don't know. I can't see him
I don't
cutting
think he's
back down to
cutting
light
it.
heavy.
I don't think so either. Yeah, so I think that he only has a couple more. I think he's going to retire early. I mean, I think he signed a fat deal for like 6 fights or something like that, but I don't know. It's like with Jon Jones, is he going to get to the next fight? Is he going to get in trouble? And then when he does fight someone that he doesn't think is a challenge, is he actually going to train? Is he actually going to care? So
Yeah.
I think this Stipe fight might be the last like big showing of Jon Jones. If he fight, I mean, I would,
Unless Ngannou,
yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't
he
hold
would
my
get up
breath
for
on that.
that. No,
Yeah,
but
I
I
think,
think he would get. I wouldn't either, but he would get up for that one. Ngannou is a freak.
yeah, but then again, does he just take him down again? You know, you know.
Right.
So that's the thing with like Khabib is just like, yeah, you fight someone with power, but they're taken down, they can't get back up. Then what? And
Habib goes. Habib goes. I'll take you down one time, two time, three time. You get up. What about four time? What about five time? What about six time? Just Dagestani as hell.
yeah, because Daniel Cormier beat Francis and just took him down, and that was it. You know what I mean? So you got to
Yeah.
think that Jon Jones is, a little bit different, obviously. But
Yeah, what a freak family. His brother, Chandler Jones, one of the
hmm
best players in the NFL. And then I forgot his other brother's name, maybe Arthur or something, but he's in the NFL too. So,
hmm
hey, ask me how my kids are doing. Ask me. I'm Jon Jones' dad. Ask me how my kids are doing.
how's the kids?
Oh, one is a Super Bowl champion, Pro Bowler, like guaranteed Hall of Famer. The other one's in the NFL, aka a
The
one
other
in
one's a
like
champion as
400
well.
talent.
The other
Right.
one's
Oh
a
yeah. Okay.
champion as well.
True.
Yeah,
Other
he
one's a
is too.
champion as well. And then yeah, my third son, he's just the greatest of all time at mixed martial arts. How are your kids doing? Are they in like what are they in like finance?
Yeah.
No, you know the craziest part is like Jon Jones could murder his brothers. Like and like they're NFL guys that would like break people in half and he could just like go on his brother's back and just make him tap. That's crazy.
Did you see? I saw a video on Instagram. I think it was on Jon Jones's Instagram, where who's that tight end from the Cleveland Browns? It's like
Njoku?
Joku. Yeah, he was hanging out
Njoku,
with Jon
yeah.
Jones like in the gym, and they were basically Jon Jones was like, "I'm gonna line up as a DN, you're a tight end," and like the punching bag was the quarterback. So they did like a little couple like drills and runs at it, and like Jon Jones did like pretty freaking good. He got stood
Oh
up like once
yeah.
or twice, but he did like against I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's like a pretty top end tight end, and he was able
Yeah,
to
he's a
like,
decent tight end. I mean, dude, he's an NFL tight end. Yeah, that's
yeah,
crazy.
and he was able to like get to the bag pretty easily a couple times. So I was like, dang.
Freak. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. No, but I'm excited for the Stipe fight, him and Stipe. Um, and the Tank
Stipe looked
Davis.
drunk. Stipe looked drunk in his last fight, like punch drunk. It was bad.
He's a guy that you hear him talk, and you can just tell he's been hit in the head a lot.
Yeah.
Inspired
Wait,
because he
was
comes
his
from a
last
box
fight against Gane? Oh no, it was against Francis Ngannou,
Francis and got knocked
and
out. Yeah,
he slapped him. It
that was a
was
little
so
messy.
bad.
Well, yeah, it wasn't good. But the thing is like, uh, he was doing well. Stipe was doing well. He actually caught Francis, and that's what made
Yeah,
him like kind of rush in on Francis, and that's when he got caught.
yeah,
Like he thought he hurt Francis, and he went to go jump on him, and Francis just landed a bomb on him, and it was
yep.
it. But he was doing actually really really well up until that point. But yeah, you
That
hear
might have
him
been one of the
talk.
worst knockouts I've ever seen. That was so bad.
Yeah, you hear him talk, and you can just tell that it's just like real choppy, and it's like you hear like those old time boxers talk later on in life, and you can tell that yeah, Stipe's been hitting the head quite a
He
bit.
talked after the fight. They interviewed him right after the fight, and he's like, yeah, I'll be ready in April or whatever he said. He's like, yeah, I'll be ready." Like he just so like monotone and just he just seems punch drunk. It's sad.
No,
It's weird
I
because they
liked him though. I liked
go
him in
ahead.
some of those interviews. He was like, no, I'm absolutely winning. Like he was just like,
Yeah,
he's like, sucks. He's gonna lose. Like he's like so like it's truly two alpha males coming against each other. Like the greatest heavyweight of all time versus Jon Jones, the greatest of all time. And I think they both are like that alpha male. Where Ciryl Gane is not his. He's more of like a calm, like it seems like a nice guy. Where both of
yeah.
these guys are both two alpha males about to go head to head, and it's a true. I
Oh yeah.
yeah, they're both like I'm not scared. Like Stipe is not gonna. The moment's not gonna be too big for Stipe. Stipe is
No
gonna come
shot.
in. He's a blue collared tough dude, and yeah, I think it's gonna be
Jon Jones, because
dope.
Stipe's a firefighter, he goes, I would recommend you stop fighting fires for a little while.
Yeah, yeah, and then yeah, he's like and Jon Jones was doing a great job promoting too. He's like, my whole life is to beat Stipe. These past 3 years is to beat Stipe. He's like, I've never been more excited, more like willing to put in the time, all that stuff for this Stipe fight because it's a goat versus a goat, and it's
The
just like
scariest
two,
thing you could ever hear someone say.
yeah. So I can't wait. It's gonna be sick.
Yeah. All I know for sure is that Big Kev is still mad that he bought the Manny Pacquiao Ricky Hatton fight.
Dude, imagine now like fights are like 80 $90. Like that fight would have been 80 90. Back then it was like 50 60. And but yeah, it went like but if you really think about it, that was an awesome fight to buy because that was like the when you watch highlights of Manny Pacquiao, that's always on it. Period.
Oh yeah.
That was like you could argue that that was like the pinnacle of his career. Like
Yeah.
that fight was like the
Yeah.
the or actually the Margarito fight too was pretty high up there. But yeah, that was one of those iconic fights in his career. So even though it ended pretty quickly, it was
I mean,
still
bro, I don't think Hatton got up for like a few minutes. Like he was like out.
yeah.
That was
Yeah.
wild. I just remember, oh, just going crazy at the crib.
There's rumors that he's gonna come back, which is kind of sad. I don't want him to
Yeah,
come back.
please don't. Unless he's gonna do what Floyd's doing and just like going to like Japan and freaking anywhere and just beating up on random people.
He just did an exhibition to like see if he could do it, kind of like a tune-up, kind of against this dude that's like nothing. But I saw a headline where he might be in talks with Bud Crawford, and I was like, no,
No.
come on, man.
Yeah, we don't want that. Dude, we've watched some legendary stuff together, like Kobe winning a ring,
Hmm.
like that fight. We've watched like Floyd fights versus Canelo. We've watched some elite stuff together, bro. Wild.
Yeah, the Floyd. We used to go over to Chaz's house to watch the Floyd fights. That was
Mm-hmm.
fun. Uh, yeah, but yeah, these past 5, 10 years. I mean, we've been kind of separated, so we
All of
haven't been.
us.
Yeah, so we haven't really been in the same area to watch fights together. So, um, hopefully, we can break the spell soon.
Yeah, no doubt. I want to go to one live. I've never been to an
Mhm.
MMA fight. You got
Dude,
to go to that boxing match.
when I went to the Pacquiao fight, it's a whole different vibe being live.
Oh
It's
yeah,
almost like uncomfortable because it's so barbaric. It's
yeah.
like literally
It's.
like the Colosseum back in Greece. Like everybody's like, kill him, and it's just like, dang, like
I feel like UFC is like even more than that with
even
boxing,
worse.
which is
Yeah,
crazy. Yeah, it's the
yeah.
truest. It's the closest thing we have to Gladiator.
And like everybody in the crowd is like juiced up to where they like want to fight too. Like they're just so much like
I know, I know.
it's so amped and it's like it's almost uncomfortable. I kind of like watching it at home better, just because I like hearing the the commentary and like the in between, like hearing the trainers talk to the fighters in between rounds and like their
Right.
advice and stuff like that. That adds a lot to me, like to the game plan and the strategy and all that. So, and the views are
Yeah.
a lot better. But I was happy because that's in theory Pacquiao's last fight. So that was super cool that I was able to go to that one. I wasn't gonna miss it. Um,
Yeah. Speaking of last stuff, saw Kobe Bean last season. That was
yeah,
crazy.
hmm
That was crazy experience. I
yeah,
actually
that
got to
was
see him multiple times in his last season, and then I remember I was living in California during his last season, and his last game I was at Yard House right around the corner from where I lived, and it was like a Wednesday night, like, and I walked in, me and my girl, we walked into the Yard House, packed, 20 TVs, Kobe on every single one of them. And I just remember like at one point he hit like this crazy shot and Snoop Dogg was doing that and the whole
was
place
that the
was just
last game?
like
His last game?
yeah, 60 ball. I'm out.
Dang, I wish that you were with me, Sherwin, and Patty because we went to Buffalo Wild Wings. And
I remember.
dude, there was like no one in the Buffalo Wild Wings. It was just pretty much us. It was later in the day, and like we're like
Screaming.
jumping up and down, like and
It's like
like
a
all the
regular
waitresses
season
and
game.
stuff.
They're 40
Yeah,
games out of the playoffs.
yeah. It was one of the best like nights ever, with those two, and I always remember that. But yeah, when we went to the Staples Center, like what was it, like 10 rows up, center court. Uh, my mom my
Ridiculous.
mom got the tickets for us because it was like my birthday month, but it was also like yeah, it was like my birthday and a belated. I mean, she like got us the tickets or whatever, and like the ordeal of getting those tickets were like
Oh yeah, it was crazy.
so
We did.
stressful and
Yeah.
uh uh yeah,
Speaking
like
of
we
that, yo, I'm tomorrow. Sorry to interrupt, but tomorrow I'm in Nashville and the SEC tournament is here at Bridgestone
basketball
Arena. Yeah,
basketball yeah.
no hockey, dude. but but yeah, so I actually scooped up 2 tickets to go to the final tomorrow, so that'll be dope.
Oh, sweet.
Did Alabama win?
I haven't been paying attention to college basketball this year. I'll watch a Michigan game from time to time, but um, yeah, I've been kind of not too excited about. There's so much parity this year.
Yeah,
Um,
their Alabama did win. I'm hoping I get to see Alabama. I hope Alabama wins again because I want to see Brandon Miller play, bro. He is certified. He's a bucket. He's probably the best player in college basketball.
yeah, I think I've seen him on like mock drafts and stuff. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and the Pistons officially will have like the best odds to get the number one pick. I think, like statistically, they're going to be a bottom three team. So that means that they're guaranteed a 14% chance, which is the best chance to get the number one pick.
Let Ben Wallace call it again. We need it. Grow the fro out. Come on. Ring the bell.
Yeah, I know. Real quick, I know we're coming up on an hour here, but I don't know if you've had a chance to watch any Pistons games lately. Have you, or at least like highlights or anything?
Not a lot. I mean, I do watch highlights, but I haven't tuned in live to the games. But I just like to watch highlights and just see who's doing what and if anybody's making any
Yeah.
eye or head
hmm
turning plays.
Yeah, I've watched like a few, not full games all the way through, but I'll like passively watch and stuff like that just to check out like Wiseman,
Yeah,
mostly. I like what I see so far.
yeah,
Like, um, you know, in Golden State, they said he was like really, really bad at defense. And maybe he needs like to learn mentally and knowledge wise about defense, but dude, he's huge. He's long. He actually protects the rim, even though he might not get a block. Like he alter shots a lot, which we were missing. I feel like when Stewart's in there, like no one's protecting the rim. Uh,
Yeah, besides Duran.
like Duran, he's like a different. I would want to. I want to say he's more like almost more fluid than Duran, which is crazy. Like and yeah, I've seen a lot of really good things from Wiseman, and so far, I'm like, dude, this might like 2-3 years down the road, like this dude might be good, like real good. And I think it would be awesome to have Duran and him as our two centers going forward, like situationally, you need an offensive guy, you put Wiseman in. You put you need like more just like defense and whatever. Like you put Duran in, and like at the end of the game put Wiseman in because he can hit free throws. You know what I mean? So
Right.
like,
Yeah.
but when both of them are in there isn't a huge like great difference on like protecting the rim. So you have two rim protectors, lob
Right.
threats. You know what I mean? I think it's I think it was a good move, and I think that Isaiah Livers, they've seen potential in Isaiah Livers, especially on the defensive end. So that's I feel like that's why they kind of were okay with letting Sadiq Bey go, because they have another wing that is probably better at defense than Sadiq Bey. Not as good offensively, but he has shown promise with his shooting. So
Right.
um, so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I've been liking Ivy too. He's just really explosive. I think if we can learn to bottle it up a little bit and it'll
It's a
just
little
become
wild.
more controlled. Yeah,
Yeah.
but he gets there. He reminds me of Westbrook a lot.
That's the
Well,
that's the
the
comparison.
the way he rim runs, I would say.
Well, what's been really encouraging lately is without a point guard. He's been our point guard, and he's had like in
Yeah.
the last 3-4 games, he's had over 10 assists, like two of those. S-
Sheesh.
yeah, so he's been really like doing well, doing lobbing it to the rim, getting into the paint and lobs and stuff, and finding people. So his game as a point, because coming out of college, it was like, all right, he's the two guard,
He's
right?
a slasher, yeah.
Slasher two guard, but now he's really starting to develop and learn the game more, where he can get assists and stuff. He's still wild, still has stupid turnovers. Dude, I watched a game the other night, man. He pulled a Chris Webber. He was
Oh, I
inbounding
saw
the
it.
ball. Yo, called a timeout, didn't have a timeout, like just rookie mistake, whatever. And like it's all right, it's all good. I mean, but yeah, he is learning. He's getting better, and like maybe he's not scoring a bunch of points, and the percentages are a little bit down in my opinion. But like him being able to add the passing into his game and stuff is really encouraging to me, because if you have him and like the more, so that's what made Golden State so great. Is not they don't have just the best shooters ever. Is that they're all can dribble, they all can pass, and they all can shoot, right?
And play
So
defense.
and play defense. So the more people that ball handlers that can pass, and not just having Cade run everything, I think is just going to make it so much better in the future. And
Yeah,
if we
I will say this. What I've noticed is I watched a couple, or I watched quite a few games last year, and I've watched less this year, but I will say that last year it was way more entertaining and fun to watch. And
Mhm.
it feels like, I know we don't have our best player, and that matters a lot, but it felt like there was more positives last year than this year. Like because you had Sadiq Bey balling out. You had whatever it was. Isaiah Stewart started to show some promise and all that, and then I don't know. I just think it's time for a coaching change. I would love to try to come up on Udoka. That would be insane to me. Because he's out at Boston. He's not going to be there. They already signed the other dude to like a 5 year deal.
Mhm.
Uh, I just think we just need. I mean, I don't know. I've never been a Dwayne Casey guy. How the hell do you win Coach of the Year and then get fired? And then right after you get fired, they win a ring. Like I
I'm
like him for
okay
what he
with
did.
I'm okay giving him at least another year. Um the reason is that when I'm watching these games, these dudes are so young and they make such dumb
dude,
at
but
they make so many
but they don't
dumb
play deep.
mistakes.
Casey doesn't coach
Mental
defense, dude. Like we don't play defense, man. Like
no, there's mental mistakes happening on defense, and you can just see it on his face. He's like, dude, what? Why would you do that? Like, it's they're so young and they have so much to learn, and I just see it time after time again. Like, oh, he was late to help. Oh, he was this. Like, why did you go for that steal and now they just got a layup? Like you weren't having a chance at getting that steal. Why did you call a timeout when we don't have timeouts? Why did you throw that pass? Obviously that's not like there's everybody's like so young. It's like you can coach as much as you can, but what I'm seeing is development of these players. Like I said, Ivy's starting to learn the game. He's starting to pass. Like Duran in his first year has you thought he was only going to get 10 minutes a game, but he's been
whoa,
his
whoa, whoa!
development.
You thought that? I said he was gonna start
Okay, yeah. I thought he was going to only play
tweaking.
10 minutes a game because of how raw he is, but he's actually shown like I've seen from the first game to now like the development in him. I've seen the
Yeah,
development in Ivy like I've said. Isaiah Livers has gotten better. Like there's individual like Killian Hayes has gotten a lot better. Still a long way to go, but he's gotten a lot better this year. So I'm seeing our players get better, but they're just still so young and unfortunately this year everybody's been hurt at different times. We've never been at full strength this whole entire year. Bagley's been out the whole entire year pretty much. Diallo has gotten so much better, especially defensively in these last couple of years. He's been on and off hurt all year round. Obviously, Cade's been out the whole entire year. Duran's been in and out. So like we've never had like a full sample size of what the heck is going on, and so it's for me coming from a coaching background and like telling a player this is how it's done over and over and over again, and then once they get into the game they just freak out and do something else or stuff like that. I'm seeing individuals get better, so that's why I'm saying like
I just don't see though. I see that too, but that's not that doesn't have to be all Dwayne Casey. That can be our like Dwayne Casey is responsible for some player development, but not all of it. But I will say that um, with Dwayne Casey, I just feel like I don't hear any of the guys like talking him up or like I just feel like they're not riding, they're not rocking with him. Well, and
I
that's just what I see.
what I've
Like
been
they're
seeing
not
that's
going to war for him.
I I've actually been impressed with how many losses they have in their season. I don't see them giving up. I still see them
Yeah, no, I don't
putting in
see
a
them
lot of
giving up.
effort, and like I feel like the culture is still good. Like I feel like they
I'm
actually
not
like
trying to
each
say that
other.
he's a bad coach. I just am ready for a switch up. And like,
You're
I
just like
think
everybody. You're ready for them to start freaking winning.
it's not
Like
even
it's been
necessarily
so
winning. I
long.
just want like some different juju in there. Like, I don't know. I just think Dwayne Casey was good for what he did. And like, I appreciate what he did. But I mean, like when you got it, like a coach like Udoka, that's just like out on the market, like give him a blank check. Like, what are we doing? Like, I don't understand.
I guess it depends on when it's time, and you don't even know if that dude wants the job because we're
Right.
still two
Of
three years
course.
2 3 years out, and we're a bottom three team again. We're probably going to be a bottom 10 team next year, probably. I would have to guess, and so we're
Right.
still 2 3 years out from it. You know what I mean? That's why I'm saying it's okay to give him another Casey another year, in my opinion, and because we're not ready to really compete yet. So like what
Yeah.
coach is going to want to I mean unless you're assistant coach somewhere like that wants just an
Right.
opportunity, then I mean, unproven coach. I think that at some point we're going to hopefully we're surprised by a good season where we make the playoffs and we're like okay, next year we're going to take another step forward and that's when we maybe, make a
Yeah.
switch or whatever when we're actually ready to compete. But right now, the
It's
development of individual players is doing
I
good, and I know
agree.
that Beeline is like involved in that, and he's always been great at developing players.
Yeah, definitely.
So
No
yeah,
doubt. I miss him at Michigan, man. Sheesh, those were some good days.
I was talking to Nate. the other day, and I made the point to him on the phone, like the thing about the recruiting philosophy has changed. So Beeline was like the Golden State Warriors. Can you dribble? Can you shoot? Can you pass? Right? Like everybody. I was watching this clip. I think it was like I think it was against Utah or something. It was a red and white team we were playing in the tournament, and it was just like three, bang, 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 just raining, just winning by 20 in like the tournament, and everybody 1 through 5 was
Yeah,
just stroking, right? Just yak 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 yak.
I
Could do
know.
like nothing. Like everybody on the team that was Stauskas, Rockman, Mo Wagner, like all those
I
dudes
know.
were just wet, wet, wet. And now we have no shooters. So he was getting guys that were low star, under the radar for the most part. I mean, he would get some more highly peer, but it was, can they dribble? Can they shoot? Or do you have the mechanics to shoot? And are they smart and pass the ball? We've kind of gotten towards like star chasing in a way where it's raw athletes, long, like raw god-given abilities, and like going to
You're right.
develop them. And if you go, I mean, in history, like Kentucky has always has great players, right? They always have like the 5 stars. How many championships have they won?
Right.
You know what I
One or
mean?
two.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
like how many times have they gone like, and they've had like 3 4 like all-star players on their team and not won the national championship. So like to
Yeah.
win consistently and be like a national championship contender like we were at Michigan, you got to
Like
get
Gonzaga.
guys.
Same thing with Gonzaga.
Same thing with Gonzaga, and you have to get guys that are going to stick around for a while. And right now, Michigan
Right.
has a lot of guys that are talented, but they're sophomores or freshmen. And like you need guys that are juniors and seniors that are still around, and that's why they can't close a game. Is because they have a starting point guard who's a freshman. They have a sophomore who's their two guards, so their two main ball handlers are first and second year players. And
We're
usually at
playing
the end,
literally 90s basketball. It's like to get out of the way and give it to Dickinson on the block.
with no shooters, like really on the edges to help him out, so it's
Clogged
like,
lane.
yeah, so we have no shooters, and that's the other thing that has really hurt us this year. But yeah, this year not gonna go to the tournament or anything like that. But I do miss Beeline just because of those. I mean, like Levert was like a 2 star. He was going to go to Ohio. Stauskas was like low star, was going to go to some mid major too as well. Like he was always finding gems.
Trey
Rockman,
Burke blocked it clean. Trey Burke blocked it clean. Pinned it.
all ball, chest to
All
chest, all
ball.
ball.
I just remember his reaction. I can see it in my head when I think about it. After they called it, he was just like he was so just mad and just tight. Oh, the
That was
whole
the Louisville stripper team, right?
yeah.
I think they got their championship taken away because, yeah, like recruiting violations where they were bringing in strippers.
Rick Pitino, yes sir.
Oh, dude, it's crazy. But before we go, I got 2 things. So tell me about, did you go to any events while you were in California for the NAPD stuff? I saw that you had like was it like, not like a booth, but like, tell me about the events that you were to like promote the stuff and stuff like that. Were you ever to show off any
Well,
stuff, and
and
who did you give stuff to, and like, and meet and things like that? What was the experience like?
no, we basically only went out there because we have a plug that is like well versed in the tennis world,
Mm-hmm.
so we got to go out and gift product to like a Taylor Fritz,
Mm-hmm.
Tiafo, uh, uh, Hubert Horkach, who's like another top 10 guy, top 11.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, but we went there kind of before the tournament started, so it was kind of like it was like really low like chill environment, like
Mhm.
getting to watch them practice and like doing
Oh,
that
that's
kind of
sweet.
stuff. So yeah, it was really
Nice.
chill. And then the one day that we ended up going to the event, like I said earlier, it was just like a charity event, but we got to see live tennis. But it was like it was for the fans and it was lighthearted and it was cool. But
Mm,
yeah, we couldn't let that opportunity go. So that was awesome to get out there and do that.
mhm. I saw a picture on Instagram where, like, you and AJ were in all white. Was that, like, a dress code? Like, I know,
Well,
like, Wimbledon, you have
we
to
just
wear all
couldn't
white.
take a knee.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
yeah. That was my first thought, actually.
Oh yeah. No, so it just happened to be we all just dressed in white. There wasn't. It was a pretty chill dress code. It was chill,
Okay.
but yeah. Yeah, I just
Because at
love like
Wimbledon, you
the
have to wear all white, right? Like, that's the like,
right.
even, like, the people who participate have to wear all white,
Yep,
right? Yeah.
everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was it was just amazing, man. I just love the sport of tennis and it's such a calm and like relaxing place and like
Mhm.
it's what I noticed about when I was watching it live is like it's like damn near dead silent when the play is being or when play is in play or whatever, when the ball's in
Mhm.
play. And then as soon as the point's over, it's just like ruckus, like so loud. And then all of a sudden it's just like boom, right back down to quiet again. And it's like it's just wild the how much it goes up and down like that. But
Yeah,
yeah, all
people
in
are
all, that
even
was
louder
a
because they had to shut up for, like, that amount of time. They're just ready to explode. Like, there's so much anticipation, nervous
yeah.
energy.
Yeah, we got to do a little bit of golfing out there too. We got a
Oh, no
NAPD
way.
golf line. Yeah, we've been working on some golf and some tennis stuff too. So it was a good thing. I think we all came back with a lot of inspiration. We're ready to cook up some more stuff here. So that'll be fun. We gotta get you dripped out in some NAPD golf polos and all that.
Dude, I'll wear that at work. You serious?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And the tennis stuff, same thing.
I've been meaning to get to the range a little bit here in these past couple, this last month or so, but it's been really windy, like cold for California, and actually like unprecedented amount of rain, like floods and all this stuff. Like every single time it rains, it's a flood warning essentially here. And
Yeah,
so,
right.
yeah, I haven't been able to get to the range as much as I wanted to, but Rachel got me a golf. I think it's Golf Tech is the company, but they can do like a swing analysis for Christmas. So I've been meaning to like get to the range to kind of like
Oh,
to at least get to a comfortable part before I go get my swing analyzed. Because right now it's not going to be very accurate because I probably can't even hit a ball. But so
yeah.
that I'm excited for that because me and
That's
you,
awesome.
yeah, like me and you, like it's just raw. Like we've gotten tips
Oh yeah.
from our dads and stuff like that, but we don't
Random, yeah.
really like know. I mean, I've gotten lessons before from like a professional or like a golf, like was it pro of the golf
A
course or
golf
whatever.
pro, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But I've never, and that was when I was really young. But I've never really had someone give me actual like professional advice. Um,
Yeah,
so I'm
that's
excited for
exciting.
that.
That's a good ass gift. Shout out to Rachel for that one.
Yeah, I'm super excited. So I don't want to show up there just like taking hacks and like not. I want to be at least back to like my normal self playing golf before I go do that. But I'm super excited for that. And yeah, when that golf line comes out, I need some stuff, hats,
Oh, it's
whatever.
over. It's about to be crazy, man. Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to show it to everybody. It's going to be awesome. And like that, the golf and tennis space is going in that direction too. It's like it's getting more streetwear. Like you see Drake and Nocta, they just came out with golf line.
Hmm.
Um, and it's just headed there and it's a space that is pretty empty that is like calling for it and we made some
Hmm.
good connections at the Super Bowl as well with people that are in the golf community and that they see it too and they know that uh, our kind of vibe is needed in golf because it's going more that way. Honestly, shout out to COVID for real because I never have seen more people at golf courses than that COVID year. It was crazy. Everybody was getting 2,500 a month or whatever from Trump. and they're just
Yeah.
everybody's buying 1942 and just
uh,
going buying Ace of Spades on the golf course, playing the best golf courses.
also,
It was wild.
also, like interest rates were zero, so people were refinancing their houses and stuff like that. So like they had
Right. Everyone was
lesser like
balling.
mortgage payments,
Yeah.
and they're just like, "Let's go."
Yeah, everyone was balling out. So, but yeah, excited on that, man. And tennis too. I got to get we're going to do like maybe like we need to get like headbands, man, like a Nadal headband vibe. Federer, yes,
Yeah, for
sir.
you especially, 'cause headband.
Oh, yeah.
I saw the white shirt on Instagram that said Wilson. And I like laughed because
That's like the most, I swear, they're the best. Like, they're the most fashion forward tennis brand. Like, there
yeah,
was like um, there was a big shop there and it had all the different brands. And I swear, like, Wilson was the best one as far as like, um, just the gear there. Like, I'm not joking. Like, this stuff was better than Nike. Like,
yeah.
obviously, you can't beat a Nike logo, but just like the designs and what they were doing and the colorways and all that, it was Wilson is the vibe right
You,
there.
you might kill me for this, but another brand that has been on the up and up is Abercrombie and Fitch.
Nah, I don't because I agree. What they did is they stripped their logo off everything. So they did
Yeah,
all minimal branding and minimal logos, and that's why it's so dope now. And like,
and like
it's
I
not
bought a few
A and F
things.
all across the chest.
Yeah, and I bought a few things like, and the materials are like really really nice and like soft and stuff like that.
Oh
And so
yeah, yeah.
so yeah, they definitely did a nice rebrand of like everything, and I've gotten a few things from them as well. So like Wilson back in the day I felt like was like a cheaper brand, right? Like a cheaper sports brand, but
Right.
it's
Yeah.
nice that they kind of
You know
rebranded
what's
and
weird is, you know what kind of shocked me is when I was there. Like one of the most sought after brands in tennis is Fila,
yeah,
which is weird.
yeah.
Like I don't associate that with like high class, but I guess it
Uh-huh.
is. Like I don't know.
I guess it's
I
just
feel
a
like I used to
niche.
have like a I feel like I used to have like a busted pair of Filas. Like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah.
some boo boo ass shoes.
Dude, as a kid, I would like I could dress for any sport. So I had like a Fila like tennis like shirt for when I went and played tennis. Like I was weird. Like always, I was always thinking about that stuff. Like, oh yeah, tennis players wear this. So when I go play tennis, I have to wear tennis stuff. Or when I play basketball, it has to be all Nike. Like for whatever sport I was
Oh
playing,
yeah.
I always had like an outfit for it. Like when I was freaking middle school, high school and stuff. So
I
yeah, I
love
had a
that,
feeler
dude.
shirt. Yeah, for sure. I remember it was black. It was white and red.
For tennis, I was always a Prince guy. I like Prince.
Yeah, that was like a Holly. I feel like I remember seeing Holly people on the team wear print stuff too.
And then also probably my favorite one, Head,
Yeah, 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 yeah. The
for
best.
obvious reasons. Yeah, the best. The best. It's
uh,
oh wow.
but yeah, we're at an hour 20 minutes here. Last thing I want to ask you before I let you go. Um, it's leave the man you with. It's a segment, my favorite
Mm,
segment. When you're here, I feel like we always have to educate.
mm.
Um, what is
Motivate,
something
motivate.
I feel like I've talking to so many people and like they just don't know, don't see something, don't recognize it as something bad. So I always think it's funny to us as a joke, leave the man you're with or leave the girl you're with or whatever it is. And but in all seriousness, I feel like I've had so many conversations with people in the past, men and women. I'm just like, do you realize this? And like, oh, I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think about it that way. And
Right.
I always think this is a fun segment. So, what is something? It's a red flag that someone should just leave the person that they're with. You go first, and I got one
Like
on my side.
me personally, I think this is just me speaking. Like when I have a girl and like she's my girl,
My
like I'm
girl.
doing I'm doing everything possible like to try to lift her up and like boost her up and like mentally, physically, all that. So like I mean like the obvious stuff like holding doors for her, all
Hmm.
getting the all that kind of stuff is obvious, but a lot of dudes aren't doing that. If
Hmm.
if you're opening if you're with your man and you're opening doors, leave your man. Like what's going on? I don't
Yeah.
know. Like I get
Uh-huh.
like car door every time can be excessive and stuff, but like if you're not
Hmm.
opening the door for your lady or like I'll like see dudes go out to dinner and just go like sit down and like not grab their lady's chair. This is just like day one basic stuff that a lot of women bypass like because of the times, but like let's get back to that. Um
Hmm.
but also I would just say like just the encouragement and um the will to just keep pushing them to like be better in all aspects. So like let's go to the gym. Let's eat better. Let's let's communicate better. Just pushing for greatness. I feel like a lot of people are just in men and women are in relationships where they're just comfortable and they just get caught in like a comfortable state to where they don't want to leave and nobody's making anyone better. So like really assess like what your man has going on, like write down how does like if for instance Rachel, I guarantee you right now if I said Rachel write down a list of how Nick makes you better, she's gonna have a lengthy list. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
100% guaranteed.
Hmm.
And I think if you ask that question to majority of women, honestly, or men, the list isn't going to be that long. A lot of it's just about transactional things like sex, like
Hmm.
just somebody to lay next to, go to sleep next to, having somebody to call or talk to. But like it just goes so much deeper than
Or
that.
like someone that
So,
boosts their ego,
oh
you
yeah,
know?
exactly. Or pays for it, buys them things like.
Yeah. Hmm.
So I think you need to ask yourself what you're
Yeah.
in it for, and ask yourself how is this person making me better every day.
Hmm.
Every day, like
Yeah.
for me with my chick, like everything I do, like literally in my day to day, if she's around or not around, I'm doing it with her best interest in my mind.
Hmm.
And I don't think a lot of dudes are doing that.
I think that comes from like an athlete background too. Like, always there's always room for improvement uh in everything. Like no matter how great you are at one individual thing, there's always room for improvement. And it's not saying that I suck, like coming in the mindset where I'm terrible, you need to get better. It's like, no, you're good, but you can get better. And that's okay. You know what
Exactly.
I mean? So
Yeah.
it's more of a positive out, it's a positive thing. You
It's
can say like,
exciting. I have room to
yeah,
grow.
yeah, it's like it's a
Yeah.
positive thing. It's not a negative like, hey, you need to get better. Like it's like, hey, like we can all improve. And that's and pushing you or that person to be their best self even though they're already great in your mind.
Right.
Let's say. Um yeah, I definitely agree. Um Mine I've been thinking about actually in this past week a lot. It's just been always just I'm daydreaming about this topic right here, but if your significant other base their value on what they receive. So, how they think about themselves, like you think about it like a sports athlete, a contract. You think, all right, my value is my contract, right? How much I receive in payment. But I think that's a very dangerous way to think about in life. So, if my girlfriend is not um, cooking me dinner, or my wife is not cooking me dinner, is not doing this for me, is not giving me these things, then I feel like my value is crap, right?
Yeah.
I think that that's a very unhealthy way to think, is basing your
Hmm.
value on what you receive, because at some point you're gonna be like, I'm not receiving enough. I'm not receiving enough. I'm not getting enough looks. I'm not getting enough compliments. I'm not getting enough uh, free meals. I'm not getting enough clothes. I'm not getting enough shoes. I'm never more, 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 right? And that's a very insecure thing to think about it. I think that the healthy way to think about life is not what I receive. My value is not based on what I receive, it's what I give. And that's where you have control of your life and your happiness. So, am I taking care of the people that I'm around? Am I making other people better just being around me? Like it comes from, and that's to me
Mm.
that's a very
Yeah.
positive thing to think about. I'm taking control of my life. I'm doing all these things for other people, regardless of what I get or what other people think about me. I know that I'm making my value is based on what I'm giving to people in a
Mm.
positive way. So if you're with someone, and a lot of those people that think the opposite of that are very insecure people. And I think that insecure people are very tough to be around because of those things, because it's never enough. It's always about the switch in their mind, not what they can get from the outside world. And a lot of people that are insecure are base their value on the outside world and what they're getting. But if you're basing your
Absolutely.
happiness and your value on what you're giving to other people, not just like
Damn, that's a
money,
bar, bro. That's
not just materialistic things. It's like you just said, hey, how can we get better today? How
right.
can I help you through this hard situation? Do you need someone to talk to? Am I being available for the people that I love to talk to and just vent to? Am I actually helping people around me? And if you look at all those things and you focus on those things as your value, then you're just going to be such a better person. And
Yeah.
more and more people are going to gravitate you for that. And in turn, you're going to get more things from that anyway, just by being that,
Facts.
switching that mindset. So if your person bases their value and your value by what they're getting from you, me, give, you know, take. If you got that person that's take, and it's never going to be enough, maybe it's not the right time, you know?
Right, exactly. That's then it comes back to the comfortability thing where you get caught in. You get caught. It's like, dang, I'm comfortable though. Like I have somebody. I don't want to go do all the work again and find somebody. And then it's like the again, but you know what that is? It's other people controlling you because you're scared of trying to go out and find somebody else or make a change. Yeah, bro. That those are
Hmm.
facts. That was well said, man. Good shit.
Yes, sir. But yeah,
No
let's
doubt.
end it on a high note, my friend. Hour and a half in. This is the second time you're on the podcast. One of my what I call my regulars on the podcast. Always good talking to you.
Soprano C, we like to keep it on a high note.
what
It's
what did
levels
Drake
to
said?
it. You and I know.
My stock going up like a crescendo.
Yeah.
High note, yes sir.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, proud of you.
My man.
Glad that you had all these trips. We're always progressing, always going forward, and we'll talk to you soon. And thanks for coming on.
No doubt. Love you, boy. Thanks you for having me again. I can't wait to come back on and chop it up. No doubt. It's always a blessing to chat with you, brother. So appreciate you. Love you.
Yes, sir.